Hello, Oiler Nation, and welcome to Oiler Insider. I'm Tim Montgomery alongside Director of Athletics, Jim Givens, as we keep you up to date on everything across the world of Oiler athletics. We're going to wrap up the winter sports season for the most part today and start looking into the spring. And it's been a little while, Jim. I mean, you've been very busy doing those Director of Athletics things, meetings, trips, etc.
Yeah, it's been a little bit rough. I was in Florida for 3 or 4 days with our softball program and got to watch them play really, really well and come home and in time to get over to Walsh to watch our men in the semifinals of basketball. So it's been a little bit busy, but wouldn't want it any other way. Lots of fun. Wish we would have had a better result in men's and women's basketball in the semifinals, but just to get there was a feat in itself, and I'm very proud of both programs for making it that far.
All right, we'll get to them in just a minute. We're actually going to open up, taking a look at the Roughnecks. Their season comes to an end at the Super Regional, which was hosted here at the University of Findlay. Some solid performances by the Oilers, but nobody quite able to crack that top three and move into nationals.
Yeah, I can tell you, Coach Nelson was very, very upset. In fact, I haven't seen Coach Nelson that upset in a while. He didn't even really want to talk afterwards. It's been a few years since we've really had the showing at the national level that we're used to, and you know, he thought that he had at least 3 guys that he felt could get out. Unfortunately, none of them, nobody made it within the top 3. Which is what it takes to advance. So he was a little bit disappointed. I know the guys were disappointed, but compared to the season that they had last year, they made great strides, and I know that both Coach Nelson and Coach Taylor are going to be hitting the road recruiting here very soon, if they're not already, to try to keep going with that program.
4th place finishes by Billy Smith, Ashton Anderson, and Micah Cottrell. 5th place finishes by Gary Nilsson, Donovan Watts, while Nate Knowlton, AJ Parrish, Chase Stein, Ronnie Thomas, and Julian Bodai all placed 6th. So certainly a good performance, but as you said, not to that top 3 that was necessary. And when you look back at the season, it was a solid performance. Strong wins over KWC, Newberry, number 11 Kutztown, number 20 Indianapolis, and placed 3rd in the conference tournament. So even though you're disappointed at that stage, there's a lot of good things to look back on.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Coach Nelson's a type of coach that he's not going to be happy unless he wins everything, and you know, that's just how some of those guys are built, and I appreciate that and respect that. But yeah, like I said, they improved greatly upon last year and the year before that. So great strides for the Oilers and the Roughnecks.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll jump into men's and women's basketball here on Oiler Insider.
The environmental health, safety, and sustainability field is growing rapidly, with opportunities in safety, environmental protection, sustainability, policy, worker safety, public health, and emergency response. EHSS graduates from the University of Findlay have gone on to work for Fortune 500 companies across the United States, along with federal and local agencies to assist and lead in compliance, training, mitigation strategies, and innovative sustainability achievements. If you want to make a difference in the environment or any of these areas, this program will give you the knowledge, network, and opportunities to do so. Learn how you can be the voice for change in an evolving and critical industry by visiting findlay.edu/EHSS or UFindlayEHSS on Instagram.
Welcome back to Oiler Insider. Tim Montgomery, Jim Givens. Time to take a look at men's and women's basketball, who just recently completed the 2025-26 seasons. Let's start with women's basketball. Finished the season at 16-13, 11-9 in conference play. Take a look at some of the season highlights, and there are quite a few. An 8-game win streak at one point in the middle of the season. A win over Ashland, ending a long losing streak to the Eagles. Qualifying for the conference tournament. They got the upset of number 3 Thomas More, and I tell you, literally seconds away from moving on to the conference final.
Yeah, that was a tough one. We were actually on the way home from Walsh, and I was driving, so I didn't get to watch it, but certainly I could hear it. And to end a game in that fashion is tough, no matter what the setting, but certainly in in the conference tournament in the semifinals, that was a really tough one. But I think the women overall, they definitely showed a lot of improvement. As you mentioned, the win over Ashland was really big, and in fact that was probably one of the best games that they played all year. So really proud of them for that. To be able to make the run that they did in the tournament, they didn't have an easy path, and they handled that situation very well. Listen, I can't remember the last time that one of our programs won 8 games in a row on the women's side. So that was a really tall task, and they handled that really well. And they would probably tell you they should have won 10 or 11 in a row. But strong improvement from last year, and I think Coach Duran, she is slowly but surely trying to build something special here with the Oilers.
On the individual side of things, for the women, Alyssa Zeeler named first team all-conference, Mackenzie Scholes second team all-conference. On top of that, Alyssa joined the 1,000-point club, finishing with 1,286 points, which ranks her 11th on the program's all-time scoring list. Just slipped past Kayla Brown into that spot. She also finished with 786 career rebounds, placing her 4th all-time on that list, and only the 6th Oiler to finish with 1,000 or more points and 700 or more rebounds. And I mentioned Kayla for this reason. She reminds me a lot of Kayla, the type of player she is when she was here. Kayla, of course, just recently became a Hall of Famer. I think we're looking at a future Hall of Famer as well in Alyssa Zeeler.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, to see how Alyssa grew over her time here at the University of Findlay, it's what you want. She would be a map for how you want somebody to come into college and to leave college. She was an even better person and a better student athlete. Couldn't be more proud of her, and I know she is on for bigger and better things for sure.
Well, and also the way her family became a part of the Oiler family, that's also part of that recipe, so to speak, that we like to look for with Oiler athletics. Let's move on to the men's side. An 18-12 record overall, 11-9 in conference play, earned a 5 seed in the conference tournament, and upset number 4 Ohio Dominican at their place. Unfortunately, though, lose to the regular season and eventual tournament champion Walsh.
Yeah, I mean, the guys was a tale of, it was if they shot it well, they were going to be in every game and probably win every game. And if they didn't shoot it as well, it was going to be a struggle. And certainly when you look at the second half at Ohio Dominican, they shot lights out. When they shoot it really well, it seems like their defensive pressure that they like to extend even elevates further, and they play a little bit harder. They get more turnovers, so we were hoping that could carry us on into the game at Walsh, and unfortunately, Walsh is a good program. If you look at them, how do they win? They've got a couple of guys that can score, but the effort that they put forth is pretty impressive, and they are just relentless. They are 94 feet all the time, and if they shoot it, they got a couple guys that they don't miss. You have to get a hand in their face, but our guys played really hard. They fought to the end, and like I said before, I'm proud that they were in the semifinals and in a position to play in the championship game. So onward and upward with Oilers men's basketball.
All-conference accolades for Mason Brandt and Makai Elmore, both second-team all-conference. In other individual achievements, Jagger Landers joins the 1,000-point club, finishing up with 125 career points, tying himself with a blast from the past, Dorian Bass, 49th place on the all-time scoring list.
Isn't that something? 49th. You score 1,000 and you're only 49th on that. Yeah, that's something. I mean, that's pretty telling to the state of Oilers basketball and where we stand.
Team graduates 5 seniors, and you feel like we're going to see a lot of change coming in that men's roster. before next season.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know that Coach Ernst, him and Coach Shardo have been recruiting pretty hard. I think they're very happy with the class that they have coming in. I'm not sure that it's completely done. In the landscape that we are with the transfer portal, I don't know that you're ever done. Because you just don't know what's going to fall in your lap. So I know they're working hard and they're already preparing for next year.
All right, we're going to take our next break. Coming up, swimming and diving, and certainly a lot to talk about with the Oilers as far as that goes, and it's coming up on Oiler Insider.
You're watching UFTV. The television branch of Pulse Media at the University of Findlay streams the arts, athletics, and educational content to viewers across campus and the world via our website, pulse.findlay.edu, and our YouTube channel at UFTV Findlay. Our staff of UF students, led by a pair of television industry professionals, also broadcasts Oilers athletics on Flow College and now features partnerships with the Flag City Sluggers and WOSN.
Touchdown Oilers!
Whether simply enjoying our content or searching for someone to produce your own, UFTV has you covered. If you'd like to work with us as either a client or as a UF student employee, reach out by visiting pulse.findlay.edu and navigating to the TV tab. UFTV, bringing education and entertainment to the Findlay community and beyond.
Welcome back to Oiler Insider. Tim Montgomery, Jim Givens here with all things Oiler athletics. Our winter sports wrap up. Take a look at swimming. Strong performances throughout the season in a series of duels, opens, invitationals. Both the men and the women win the GMAC MEC championship, and I say again. And you talk about domination. Combine the men and the women. They won 33 of the 38 events at that competition, with the men being a perfect 19 for 19. I mean, that is the epitome of it. I know that Kyle and Meredith in the write-ups often refer to it as the standard, and Coach Santos certainly has them living up to the standard.
Yeah, he sure does. I mean, what is that, 8 in a row, I think, for
something
the men,
like that, yeah.
6 out of it, 8 for the women. It's just an impressive group, but I tell you, they're here every morning at 5:15 in the morning, ready for a 5:30 practice, and they stay until swim school begins at 6:30 or so, and they absolutely work their tails off, and it's really impressive. And not only do they win, do they swim fast, but they are just unbelievable kids, and I have the best time with them when they're studying in the lobby or whatever. It's a pleasure to have them on campus, and certainly it's a pleasure having them represent us as an institution at the national championships.
And I also enjoy the international flair of it, to be honest with you, as well. I think that adds to the other athletes, to their experience as well, and it's just a nice additional. Men are ranked 9th, women 13th as they look ahead to nationals, and as we talked before, it's all about times qualifying for nationals. 16 Oiler men and women have done just that. 9 women qualified for 11 events plus relays. 7 men qualify for a total of 10 events plus relays. It's just really, really impressive. I can't say enough about it, and you talked about the numbers of how many times they've done this. It's just an incredible credit to Coach and the entire staff, and they continue to build on it.
No, you're exactly right, and we're going to be rooting hard for all of the student athletes who are representing us. I think if you look at individuals, Camilo and Emily, they're veterans. They've been down this road. They are going to be able to handle the pressure of a national championship meet. If you have never been to one, they're like nothing you've ever seen before. I know my first one several years ago. I was shocked on how loud and that whole venue gets so excited, and as a competitor, it's one of those situations where you're at the national championship. You've got to keep your mind, you've got to keep your body ready, and they certainly do that. And I think both of those in particular have a chance to bring home a national championship.
All right, we're going to take one final break. When we come back, we jump into spring sports here at the University of Findlay on Oiler Insider.
The University of Findlay Department of Media and Communication offers 3 majors: journalism and digital media, public relations, and organizational communication. Comm majors have the opportunity to be leaders in our on-campus media outlets, including UFTV, 88.3 WLFC, and Pulse News, our award-winning student newspaper. Students can join the Pulse Media Club and participate in a number of digital media production events and experiences. Whether it's shooting and editing video, creating PR campaigns, crafting social media strategy, or writing in-depth news stories, our goal is to help students become great storytellers. Alumni of our department work in a variety of communication careers, including news anchor and reporter, copy editor and page designer, digital marketing manager, social media community management specialist, and many more. You can find more about how to get on the path to success at findlay.edu/communication. It's where you can develop meaningful lives and productive careers.
Welcome back to Oiler Insider, and let's take a look at spring sports. Starting with women's lacrosse, Oilers opened with a pair of wins over Saginaw Valley and Deauville before dropping their last 3. They're going to be at Wheeling on the 14th and at home against Malone on the 19th, but not a bad start for the lacrossers.
No, not at all. They had a good trip. I mean, it was, they spent some hours in a bus, but I think that's good for all of our student athletes to have to do that once in a while. It makes them stronger and closer as a unit, and Coach is doing a really good job of trying to bring those student athletes together, and we're looking forward to getting them to see them here at home at the end of March.
Moving into our split season sports as far as that goes. Start with golf, as they have both the fall and the spring. Moving into the spring, and at it this week as we're doing this here, both of them in the Carolinas. Men at Greenwood, South Carolina at the Greenwood Invitational. The women in Wingate, North Carolina at the Jerry Surratt Memorial, and both off to good starts from what I understand.
Yeah, the guys finished second in this tournament. It was a loaded field. I think they were 20-some under, at 21 under maybe to finish. Super, super impressive. Dom and Coach Steve have got the guys, really playing well. And the girls, I believe, as we started this interview, I believe they were in 3rd place. They were tied for 3rd. And that field was even probably the best quality field that you'll ever see in a regular season tournament. So, it's important to Coach Dom that they get off to a start where they put pressure on themselves, and they're playing against the best competition that they can, and that's why they've been so successful. So looking for big things for not just the women, but the men this year as well.
I was going to say, men off to a good start, as you said. Let's move on and take a look at tennis. Is the women's tennis 4-6 in the spring here early on, but a win over top 25 at Delphi. Men off to an amazing 8-1 start in the spring, with wins over number 22 Adelphi, number 21 Wayne State. Great starts in the spring for both programs, and this is a program that really has been surging over these last couple of years.
Oh, no, Coach Westmeyer has done an incredible job this year. He's the head men's coach as well, so we're back to one coach taking over both programs. The women certainly over the last few years have made a name for themselves and certainly deserve the recognition that they've got. The men, as you said, they've got off to an 8-1 start. Tennis is a little bit different of a sport. If you notice, we went northeast instead of going south. And that's because Coach Westmeyer wanted to play the highest quality competition that we could to try to get them ready for not only our conference season, but the postseason afterwards. So big things from them, both the men and the women this year. Looking forward to see how they finish.
Track has been at it really since the holidays with the indoor circuit. Quite a few strong performances throughout the winter that saw the men and women finish 3rd in the conference meet, with several qualifying times for nationals, which are coming up here this weekend. They're going to be off to Virginia Beach, and then not long after that, jump right out of indoor into the regular spring season.
Yeah, it's one of those. They're from the start of school till the end of school. They're going full bore. Coach Kraut has done an amazing job with that program, him and his staff. They left this morning actually for Virginia Beach. So looking forward to to some good results there. I think that people will be surprised on how well we are represented, and I won't be surprised because I get to see the kids every day and how hard they work. But I know that they're on to good things, to better things, and I think they're going to bring home some quality points for us.
All right, let's wrap things up by looking at the Diamonds baseball and softball. Baseball has opened 8-8, including most recently 3 of 4 over Gannon, outscoring the Golden Knights by a total of 49-21 over the course of those 4 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I got back in time to be able to see them on Sunday, and they're big, they're physical. It's just like with any other team. If their pitching holds out, they're going to be okay. They're starting pitching. Their first 3 guys are going to have a chance to win every time they take the ball. We're going to score runs. We're very aggressive on the bases. So it's going to be an interesting year for the Oilers. And my expectations are much higher than they were in the past. I think Coach Palm has done a great job recruiting, and he's getting that program where he wants it.
Well, and you speak of Palm, and Nick picked up Player of the Week honors on the baseball side of things. I got that alert just a little while ago.
Yeah, I think, watching Nick on Sunday, he could have closed his eyes every at bat and would have made contact. I mean, he's in one of those early groups that, players don't get to experience a lot, but he is, he's worked very, very hard. He's made himself into a really good player. If you compare how he came in as a freshman to what he looks like now as a player.
He's physically different.
He's physically different, and he's put a lot of time into making himself a really good baseball player.
Meanwhile, the softball team 12-3 here in the early going, and 8-2 on the Florida trip, and I know you were along for part of that trip.
Yeah, I got to see 4 days worth, and I'll tell you, they exceeded expectations as far as I was concerned. Every phase of the game, they did very, very well. They pitched it, they hit it, they played defense, and that's what it's going to take to win in our conference, to get in the conference tournament, and hopefully to get into the NCAA tournament. I think this is definitely an NCAA tournament team. As you know, just as in baseball, what happens on the mound is typically, how far you go. And we've got a few young ladies that they can throw it. So if we can hit it and catch it, we're going to be okay.
Spin it, as they say.
I'll just say if we can hit it and catch it, we'll be okay.
All right, plenty of action and plenty to be proud of in Oiler Nation. Remember, you can track all Oiler athletics at FinleyOilers.com. That's going to wrap up this edition of Oilers Insider. Jim, appreciate you joining us as always.
Got it, brother. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time here on Oilers Insider.